Back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Right now, when you buy one Carl's Jr. Famous Star single, you can get a second for just $1. Just $1. That's it. A hot day at the old yard today as the Dodgers and Cubs play for the first time this spring season. Let's go down on the field and say good afternoon to Kirsten.
Thanks, Tim. Well, Justin Robleski has the start today. Dave Roberts, the plan for him is going to be 2 innings. And this is a guy who, you look back on 2025, had a tough start, but an excellent finish, splitting time as being a starter as well as a reliever. He had 22 appearances as a reliever with a 3.23 ERA, so clearly excelled in that. But Dave Roberts made it clear that this year they are looking at him as a starter, potentially as a hybrid guy, but they're going to continue with building him up. So again, the plan for him today is 2 innings of work, guys.
Yeah, you're basically a starter until you're not. That's what they're looking at Robleski at right now. Last season, 2 starts, 24 games total, 5-5 with a 4.32 earned run average. Struck out 76 in 66 and 2/3 innings of work. This is his second spring training appearance this spring with a 1-0 record. Cubs lining up this way. Matt Shaw, the third baseman, leads off. Kevin Alcantara will be the designated hitter. Dylan Carlson and Chas McCormick. Christian Bethancourt behind the plate. James Triatos at second base. B.J. Murray at first. And former Dodger Justin Dean will be in right field today, hitting just ahead of the shortstop Scott Kingery. Max Muncy out at third base today for the Dodgers. His second spring start. Freddie Freeman out there again for his third time. And Miguel Rojas working at second base today. He'd been working at shortstop primarily until today. We'll see what happens with that second base spot to open the season. And Will Smith back behind the plate. Will be leaving shortly, and so will third base coach Dino Ebel to join Team USA. Dino's going to be the third base coach for the American club again, as he was last WBC. There's Dino. One of the best there is right there. So we're getting set to start this one this afternoon. The Dodgers 6-1 and the Cubs 3-5. And Matt Shaw, 333 hitter in the spring. No homers and a run batted in, standing in. Right-handed hitting third baseman for Chicago. First pitch inside and low ball 1.
Well, we'll see about the elevated fastball. Why do I say that? Well, Robleski, including postseason, that elevated fastball, just a 174 average against it.
That hit the bat. That's a foul tip for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Robleski shakes off the first sign. Now ready to go. Outside.
Robleski, the other part too is don't fall behind deep in counts. And the reason is he fell behind last year. It was a 552 batting average against. That was the highest of National League relievers.
Missing low and in. 3-1 now to Matt Shaw.
Because you give the hitters a sense of security when you have a 3-1 count against a pretty good hitter getting it started.
And Shaw rips it down to third. That's off the glove of Muncy out into the left field for a base hit. A rocket off the bat of Shaw starts the ball game.
You know, they call it the hot corner because predominantly you've got more right-handed batters than you do lefties in the lineup in a ball game. And this is evidence of a hot corner. That was a hard smash, but again it goes back to him falling behind and counts 3 balls and a strike.
96 off the bat.
Did not take the friendliest of hops either.
1 on, nobody out, and Kevin Alcantara, the designated hitter, will take a strike. Does not have a hit this spring. 364 in 10 games with the big club last year. No wind to speak of today. A really still afternoon. There's a shattered bat that goes right into the Dodger dugout.
That is the epitome. You talk about getting sawed off. My goodness.
I was too busy watching the business end of the bat. I didn't even see where the ball went. Oh, I guess it just went straight down.
Alcantara wound up with what looked like a butter knife in his hand, not a bat. Alcantara, big guy, 6'6" to begin with. He underwent core muscle surgery right after the season had ended last year.
From Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, 23 years old. 2 strikes on him. Shaw the runner at first. Pitch by Robleski, fouled off to the right and out of play. One thing Robleski wants to dial in is limiting the runs as a starter. As a starter in the big leagues, he has had 8 total starts over the last 2 seasons. His ERA as a starter, 7.62. It's been much different as a reliever. 28 relief appearances, his ERA 2.70.
Well, I mentioned that number behind in the count, 5.52 average. The average behind in the count last year in the National League was still high, 3.22. So it kind of shows the importance of not falling behind in the count to a lot of hitters.
With 2 strikes last year, opponents had 151 against Robleski.
Big turnaround. Fall behind, 5.22. Get ahead in the count, minuscule. Sounds easy.
Well, the way you put it, yeah, it should be. But it's not.
No.
Ball and 2 strikes to Alcantara. And Robleski deals him outside, 2-2. Again, the plan 2 innings. He doesn't want to throw too many pitches this inning and shorten his outing. So he tries to build up. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat. Dylan Carlson is on deck for the Cubs. Fouled away as Alcantara continues to battle.
Optimism in Chicago. The Cubs, maybe their first really meaningful season to close things out since 2017. They got to the playoffs. They defeated the Padres before dropping the series to the Brewers.
Up in the air to left. Teoscar Hernandez will make way for the center fielder, Michael Ciani. He'll get under it and make the catch. That's the first out of the ballgame. 1 on and 1 out of the center fielder, Dylan Carlson, switch hitter who'll bat right-handed.
For Chicago again, I mean, you finally get to the postseason, first time in a number of years. Go the distance and then losing the National League Division Series. They got in as the wild card, second in the Central behind the Brewers.
Pitch to Carlson inside, hit him. 2 men on. Threw a slider that just kept on sliding. The back foot slider hit the back foot.
That was all of the foot slider. Carlson limping down the first baseline. He'll get some medical attention.
Two on and 1 out for the Cubs. Manager Craig Counsell over there on the right. Got the Cubs back in the playoffs last year for the first time in 5 years. Lost to the Brewers in the National League Division Series. Coming in second to the Brewers in the NL Central. They went 92-70 last year. See, the last guy Robleski hit in a game was in the World Series. It was Andres Jimenez, the second baseman for the Blue Jays. Jimenez didn't like it very much and said something to Robleski, and notably Robleski had a response. Take a look back at this. And Jimenez wants to know what happened there, and Robleski coming right for him. Yeah. There's a ground ball towards short. Miller steps on the bag, throws to first, and that's a double play.
Another broken bat.
Robleski blew up a couple of bats. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. After half inning, Cubs nothing. Dodgers coming to bat. Miguel Rojas leads off for the Dodgers this afternoon. Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy to follow, along with Teoscar Hernandez, James Tibbs III, Keston Hiura, Noah Miller, and Mike Ciani round out the Dodger lineup against right-hander Colin Ray. 27 appearances last year, 11-7, and a .395 earned run average. Ray ready to go. And the pitch to Rojas, playing second base today, fouls it back. Rojas hitting .500 in the spring. He's 4 for 8 so far with a walk, and he's reached in 5 of 9 plate appearances. He fouls this one sharply down the right side.
So who opens up at second base on opening day? Espinal, we saw him yesterday. He had a couple of base hits, a couple of very good defensive plays. Dive to his left on a line drive, dive to his right on a line drive.
And Espinal getting more activity today. He's with the split squad over in Surprise in a game against the Texas Rangers. And this one well hit down the right side, but that's going to curl out of play. We know about the home run, but boy, he turned in some heavy-duty defense here, especially this one. That was a World Series saving play right there. That's no hyperbole.
Yep, absolutely. Just knowing exactly what happens gave Will Smith a chance to work with a good throw.
Will kept the toenail on home plate. So Miggy strikes out, and there's one away. Ray got him with a slider. Now Freddie Freeman. Freeman 1 for 3. And his double went to the left center field gap. That's where he loves to hit him. Says his swing is as good as it's been. He feels really good about it. And one of the differences for him was having a normal offseason. And for a baseball player, what does that mean? That means you're not rehabbing any injuries. You didn't have surgery of any kind. It means you just rested up and got ready to play. And Freddie's won 3 World Series, 1 with the Braves, 2 with the Dodgers. Check swing. Count goes to 3-0 on Freddie Freeman. So he's had 3 at-bats, right, Mo? So I guess he's going to have 44 more or 43 more after this one. He grounds it to first, and Ray is over there to take the throw and step on the bag.
We found it very interesting. He said 47 at-bats. You know, normally you say, well, I can have some bats, maybe get X number of ball games, or for pitchers, X number of innings. But I think a lot of it really kind of revolves around how you feel. So if these guys are veterans, they know their bodies. Although I will tell you is that when you get in your 30s, you're not in shape as rapidly as you are when you're in the early 20s. Just an observation.
From experience? Yeah, that pitch inside.
But the good thing is you have the knowledge, you understand your body. And these guys understand what their body tells them, what they need, what they don't need. Do I need a little extra work? Do I need more road work? What about my legs?
2-0 to Will. Check swing. He did not go. Well, you don't have to be a professional athlete to notice the difference in your 30s from the 20s. And as you get to the 40s, it gets a little tougher. This thing called metabolism slows down. Strike to Smith, 3-1. But did you find yourself, though, Mo, when you started getting into your 30s, you're like, man, I've been doing this all my life, and it's just taking longer to get myself ready.
Yeah, well, you understand that, and what you wind up doing is starting earlier.
Adjusting. Full count to Smith. 2 outs, payoff from Ray. Chopped at the plate, foul. Well, we welcome Cubs fans watching us today. This is one of those rare days the Cubs don't have a broadcast of any kind. They do a great job on radio and television, the Cubs do. And just happened to be scheduled that way today, so happy to have you along. Ground ball to short. That's backhanded by Kingery. And the throw to first scooped up by B.J. Murray. The Dodgers come up empty in the first. On to the second inning at Camelback Ranch. Hey, Dodger fans, don't miss a single moment this season. Sign up for SNLA Plus and enjoy Sportsnet LA anywhere on any device on the MLB app. If you're already an SNLA video subscriber or a Spectrum Internet and mobile customer, you get SNLA Plus at no additional cost. Visit MLB.com/SportsNetLA. Justin Robleski back to work against the catcher Christian Bethancourt, who swings and misses for strike one. Glad you're with us on the radio TV simulcast today. Radio on AM 570 in Los Angeles. TV on SNLA. One popped up right side. Freddie Freeman giving it a look. And foul ground will make the catch, and there's one away. One down. James Triantos, the second baseman, up 188 this spring. Last year an advanced A and a little bit in AAA in Iowa. Hit 259 combined, 7 home runs. And a ground ball to third on the first pitch. Muncy to Freeman, 2 down.
And another batter gets jammed. No broken bat, but you got jammed.
Number 83, first baseman.
That will vibrate the hands a little bit.
So the Dodgers have 2 outs on 3 Justin Robleski pitches. And B.J. Murray, the first baseman. Got to figure he was going to take that pitch regardless of the location. Took it low for a ball. 242 last year in Double-A. Knoxville in the Southern League. 286 so far this spring. No home runs, 2 runs batted in for the right-handed hitter. Open stance, takes outside, and it's 2-1. Robleski has had 32 career appearances with the Dodgers over the last 2 seasons. And a ground ball to short. Noah Miller there. And he'll throw on to first base for the out. And a nice tidy 7-pitch inning for Justin Robleski. Inning and a half done, no score.
is not. If you know, you Verbo.
Max Muncy will lead off and go back to this. Game 7. Did it have enough? Oh, yeah. It had more than enough. Another World Series home run for Max Muncy. That's the start at third base today. Batting cleanup. 16 career postseason home runs. That's the most in Dodger franchise history. 0-1 pitch. That's in the dirt.
Interesting to see Muncy also in the stance. And watch his right front foot. It's toe in, pointed back to the catcher to try and keep him closed, not having things fly out too early during the swing.
2-1.
Just little subtle things that hitters do. You know, what's the mindset? Do they say something to themselves that, you know, one word means a few different things? Well, for Muncy, they make sure to close that front side.
Ground ball to second. Triatos there. He throws on to first. Muncy is out, 1 away. Teoscar Hernandez will make his way to the plate now. Good spring so far. He's only hitting .600. 6 for 10 with a double. Scored 4 times and he's driven in 2. Great start here in the month of February as we close the book on February today. It's already the 8th game here in spring training. 1 ball, no strikes to Teoscar. Moving from right field to left field. And a strike call. By the way, the Dodgers split squad club over in Surprise taking on the Texas Rangers. Top of the second inning there, they lead 2-0. Dalton Rushing with a home run and Santiago Espinal with a double. So Rushing has his first spring training home run today.
Espinal now with that double. He's 5 for 10 this spring.
Former All-Star with the Reds. Swing and a miss by Hernandez.
We were talking about competition at second base. Okay, for Rojas, updated, including 0 for 1 today. He's 4 for 9. Aesong Kim, 6 for 13. And Espinal now 5 for 10.
Kyle Tucker playing in that game in Surprise today, the Dodgers right fielder. Teoscar was talked to in the offseason, said, hey, we're going to sign Tucker and put him in right field. You good moving back to left? And Teoscar's like, yeah, whatever you want. So you can expect to see him back over there as he blasts one toward left field and making the run over toward the line to get it, Chas McCormick. 2 out.
I think another story, a sideline story, Teoscar Hernandez, too, is it realizes that, look, he needs to step up the defense. But I think players at the end of seasons, how do they analyze their year in preparation for the following year? Because when you come into camp, it's really easy to work on the things that you're good at. It can be painful to work on the things that you say, hey, look, I took honest inventory. Here's a couple of things I need to kind of polish.
James Tibbs III, former ACC Player of the Year at Florida State. Had a triple yesterday against the team that traded him, the San Francisco Giants. He was involved in the trade from San Francisco and Boston. He was with Boston, and they sent him to the Giants in the Rafael Devers deal. He wasn't the only one. Also, Zach Earhart, who now the Dodgers have, was in that deal too. Tibbs, first-round pick of the Giants. He was sent to Boston, and Devers came the other way. Devers was supposed to play yesterday, but it was a hamstring situation that kept him out of that game.
But they would not announce it early as far as what it was exactly.
2-2 way inside. That's like hockey, right? It's a lower body injury. They don't tell you in that sport. It's either above the waist or below the waist. Two outs in the payoff pitch from Colin Ray to James Tibbs III. Fouled off. We'll get another. It was a super regional game that Florida State was playing against UConn a couple of years ago in blistering heat. And Tibbs had 3 home runs in that game to advance Florida State. And he swings and hits this one into center field for a base hit. Guy can swing the bat, there's no doubt.
Swing the bat. Question is, where do you put the glove? Or is it strictly just swinging the bat?
Keston Hiura, former Brewer, the Angels briefly, and the Rockies. Take a pitch outside. A couple of days ago he had a home run against the White Sox. It's here at Camelback Ranch, part of back-to-back homers as his son Kim hit one right after. Hero swings, pops it up. Backpedaling is the second baseman, Triantos. He'll make the catch. Side retired. And the Dodgers get a hit and leave a man. We go to the third at Camelback Ranch. Dodgers nothing, Cubs nothing.
Without the express written consent of the Dodger.
Justin Robleski finished for the afternoon. 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. 24 pitches, 15 for strikes, and here is Edwin Diaz making his second spring appearance, and he is facing Justin Dean, the former Dodger. Dean will always be remembered for doing something that most in Toronto never remember anybody ever doing. And that was holding their hands up, signifying the ball was jammed under the outfield fence. Folks in Toronto said that never happens there. But it happened that particular night. Justin threw his arms up, and the base runners had to go back from whence they came. It turned out to be a huge play in the World Series.
One of a few huge plays. My goodness.
Diaz throws him up and in.
So I was talking a pregame show about Edwin Diaz. Yesterday morning I saw a photo of Diaz. It was a wonderful photo in his delivery and just before the release point. And I showed it to you and I said, is this what helps him have extra movement? And I'm trying to describe what the photo is showing. Now, you would think that at point of release, if you're looking at your forearm and then carrying on to your hand, that might be a straight line, but the ball's still in it. But with Diaz, his wrist is still laid back, and yet his arm was almost at the release point. So at the very last second, he has a flick of the wrist to move it forward, and is that what gives him a little extra spin?
There goes Dean. Big jump. Throw by Smith. Too far, but there's Miller to back up, and Dean's got himself a stolen base.
But that photo, we looked at it, and it was a wonderful photo. But it kind of broke down, something you don't really see with the naked eye, or maybe even not even slow motion.
Well, we know Justin Dean can run. And he just went first move right there and got a big jump. Scott Kingery, the shortstop. Looks at a pitch outside. You can see the blonde hair. The players on the Puerto Rican national team going to the WBC, that's kind of their thing. They all dye their hair blonde. And Diaz has already got it finished.
Planning ahead.
He's organized. So the Dodger closer sends one home, and it's inside to Kingery. 2-2. I think he wanted number 39. He's going to wear 3. Of course, 39 not available for the Dodgers. It's retired for Roy Campanella. A ground ball wide of third, foul. A 3-year deal. 31 years of age. Started his big league career in Seattle. Went to the Mets, and now here with the Dodgers. Won the Trevor Hoffman Award 3 times. Twice in the National League. And the reliever of the year in the American League, once with Seattle. He has walked his second man. So he walks Dean, walks Kingery, and the Cubs with 2 on and nobody out in the top of the 3rd inning.
That doesn't match up. And you look at Diaz last year, that ERA below 2. Dodger pitching coach Mark Pryor keeping a close eye on all of his pupils today. We should see Tanner Scott a little bit later on. See another lefty, Ronan Kopp, who's an interesting character. Line shot, backhand stab, Miller. Oh, to second. He got the double play. Doubled off Dean at second. Oh, what a terrific play by Noah Miller. And the first job, catch the baseball. He does that, and then watch how quickly he gets rid of it on the television side. Big lead off, Dean too far. And a perfect feed over to Miguel Rojas at second base.
Matt Shaw hitting into the double play. Kevin Alcantara up with 2 men out and a runner at first. So what we just saw from Diaz, though, before the double play, which is pitcher's best friend, is highly unusual. I get 62 appearances with the Mets last year, and he only walked multiple batters 4 times all of last season. So he really did a good job limiting the walks. Alcantara 0 for 1, fly to center. Runner goes, throw down, and a bounce off the grass fielded by Rojas, but in with the stolen bases. Kingery.
But Diaz, runner on base. I mean, that is an issue. We're going to see some guys that have speed that'll try and steal against him. He has that high leg kick out of the stretch position.
He gets Alcantara to strike out. Good slider from Edwin Diaz, and he throws a scoreless top of the 3rd.
on Sportsnet LA.
The Miller brothers got to exchange lineup cards today. Noah Miller and his older brother Owen. Owen is 6 years older. Got to pose for a photograph with the umpires. And Noah leads off after making a great backhanded stab to start a double play. Out of Wisconsin are the Millers. And brother Owen was with the Rockies last year. Noah still working his way to the big leagues with the Dodgers after being traded from the Twins. But it's not the first time they were on the field together. They happened to be on the field 2 springs ago, Mo, in a game we did over at Maryvale against the Brewers on the 2nd of March in 2024. Just 2 springs ago, when Noah Miller was inserted into the game as a pinch runner and older brother Owen was playing first base for the Brewers. And that was the first time they've been on the same field together. And Noah cracks one deep to right field. Going after it, Justin Dean is on the warning track to make the catch. And there's 1 out.
Got to be a big deal, too, for the family. I mean, in the same game, whether it be spring training or not, it's a tough road just to get to.
And you got to imagine that still shot of the Miller brothers with the umpires is going to be up in somebody's house in the family in the not too distant future. Great shot. There's Michael Ciani.
Ciani, one of the more pronounced crouches that we see nowadays. The knees, and then he'll collapse at upper body as he starts to go into the ball. Not drastic, not by any stretch of imagination.
Ciani made the big leagues with the Cardinals last year. He was originally with the Reds organization. Here's a guy who knows what it's like to look at the transactions column. The Reds waived him in September of 23, and that's when the Cardinals picked him up. He thought, okay, I'm with the Cardinal organization. Things had calmed down for him for a while. But this past November, it became a wild ride. He was waived by the Cardinals. And the Braves picked him up. He hits a ground ball to short. Right there is Kingery to throw him out. And the Braves waived him in December. The Dodgers claimed him. Then the Dodgers waived him in January. The Yankees claimed him. And then the Yankees waived him later in January. And right before spring training, the Dodgers claimed him again. So he had his bags packed. He just needed to know which way to go in spring training, and it was west to Arizona. Miguel Rojas bangs one foul.
So Rojas again, including today, as a hitter, 4 hits and 9 at-bats. So you have Rojas hitting at 444. Tyson Kim, before he left to join, 462. Espinal, with the base hit in the B game over in Surprise, is now hitting a cool 500. Pretty good competition for those that are raising their hands to claim the second base position.
Rojas chasing a slider. It's now 0-2. Miguel Rojas. There's a guy who had a very charmed offseason and well-deserved. He was highly sought after in terms of interviews and appearances. All the things that go along with being a World Series hero. One, two. You know, when you start a World Series, you never know who it's going to be. Somebody's going to be an impact player.
Well, how many times have I said when you get to postseason, especially in the World Series, it's probably someone that you spend the least amount of time on in your preseason meetings that is going to step up. Well, Miguel Rojas stepped up large. Still to look. on Dave Roberts' face after Rojas hit the home run to tie the game in the 9th inning. There's 1 out. Blue Jays are 2 outs away from becoming world champions. And Rojas, I still believe that his take on the 2-2 pitch was huge in order to get to 3-2. Then got another slider and hits it out for the home run.
Still, where the pitch was, he had to go out and get it. How he pulled that ball. That's not a pitch you normally pull. That's way outside, or not way outside, but outside part of the play like that. Oftentimes you're going to go where the ball is pitched. I mean, watch where it goes.
Yeah. So he took the 2-2 and he gets the 3-2. Yes, good location to hit it, but a marvelous location. They hit it out and tie the game.
He chases the slider here and goes down on strikes for the 2nd time in the game. Nothing across for the Dodgers. We're through 3, heading to the 4th. Scoreless at Camelback.
Chase Freedom Unlimited.
Opening week with your back-to-back world champion Dodgers, presented by Bank of America, coming March 26th. Check out exciting matchups, giveaways, special events, and much more. Dodgers.com/promotions for more. Get the right caps on today. Here's Tanner Scott making his first Cactus League appearance, a left-hander. 61 appearances last year. It's a year numbers-wise that he would like to put behind him, and feels like he can certainly do that. The opposition hit .244 against him last year, where the year before it was only .134. The year before that, under 200, 191. And last year was the worst average against Tanner Scott since 2019 when he was with the Orioles.
I'm going to bring up a question. Did he throw too many strikes in certain times? I say that because I looked at some numbers. He had the 3rd highest percentage of strikes thrown with 2 strikes last year.
Throws a slider and gets a swinging strike from Dylan Carlson.
Now, what we don't get is the printout of the location of those high percentage of strikes thrown with 2 strikes on the count.
2-ball, 2-strike pitch from Tanner Scott to Dylan Carlson. Ground ball to third. Muncy with it. Sets his feet, throws across, and there's 1 out. So as far as Scott was concerned, one of the things that plagued him last year was the home run. And better than 50% of the runs he allowed came via the home run. A little more than 20% of the hits that he allowed were home runs. And he allowed as many home runs last season as he did over his previous 3 years combined. Chas McCormick flies to right on the first pitch. He's out. So all of these things that happened to Tanner Scott last year, he feels very confident he's going to be able to correct this year.
And he was able to spot the slider with a rather high consistency.
And his overall resume for his career is really, really good. Last year was a speed bump. That's what he hopes. Wasn't 100% healthy either. Christian Bethancourt, catcher up. Popped up foul to Freddie Freeman at first. And he lines one up the middle. That's a base hit. 2-out single for Bethancourt. Scott will face James Triantos, the second baseman. He grounded out to Muncy back in the second inning, 0 for 1.
The Dodgers and Cubs get together rather early in April. They come out to L.A. The Dodgers go to Chicago in August. Or at least the ivy will be in full bloom on the red bricks in the outfield at Wrigley Field.
And you know those red bricks very well.
Yeah, some of them too well.
You crashed into them a few times.
I mentioned this the other day. Everybody looks at Wrigley Field. Oh, it's a bandbox. Yes, it's 368 to left center and right center. But it's rather big down the line, 350 plus, and then you got a couple of weird angles. But I always felt in playing center field in Wrigley, because of the short alleys in right center and left center, it really curtailed your angle to go after a long, deep fly ball, because you did not want to crash into the ivy / underneath brick.
Never really provided any padding for you, did it?
If you hit it just right. But when you're looking in the sky and running as fast as you can, and you maybe leap into the air, you don't really choose how you're going to land.
3-1 pitch to Triantos. Foul straight back. 3-2. 2 down. Runner will go with this pitch. Old number 7, Rick Monday, with the Cubs with us here in the booth. Two runner goes. Slider swung on and missed. And Triantos out on strike. So not a bad inning at all for Tanner Scott, because of just the one hit. And strikes out Triantos.
MLBRadio.com.
Back-to-back world champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Freddie Freeman, right after walking off Game 3 in the bottom of the 18th inning with a homer to center field at Dodger Stadium. 0 for 1 here this afternoon. This guy's had some big hits in his career. Big home runs, World Series home runs. And he's looking for a big year. He's already made it known he wants to play all 162. That's what he likes to do, but he hasn't done that the last couple of years. Ben Brown takes over, right-hander. Has appeared for the Cubs in each of the last 2 seasons. 5-8 last year, 1-3 the year before. Brown's pitch cut on and missed. Came in with a knuckle curveball. What do you make of Freeman's swing so far in camp?
It's early. He says he likes it.
That swing results in a base hit to right field.
He likes it a little bit more right now.
So leadoff single. Freddie's second at bat. He's been taking 2 at bats up until this point, but no pinch runner for him here, so he'll run the bases. We might see him get 3 at bats today.
Well, Freeman is not a one-trick pony, and by that I'm talking about the fact, yes, he's made it public. He likes to hit the ball to left center. That's primarily what he's thinking. But he's quick enough and strong enough to hit that ball that's in on his hands, evident by the ball that he just pulled there.
Will Smith takes a fastball strike. Two-seamer from Ben Brown. Brown from East Setauket, New York. 26 years old. Originally drafted by the Phillies. A foul tip off the bat of Smith for strike 2. The Phillies grabbed him out of high school. He had 1 college offer, did Brown. He could have pitched at Siena, but decided he'd rather turn pro at that point. He had started the minor league journey with the Phillies. 1-2 to Will. Smith had the last home run hit by a Dodger in the 2025 season, the one that capped the World Series in extra innings. And he had the first home run of spring the other day here. And he strikes out. That'll be a swinging strike. 1 out, Max Muncy. Muncy bounced out to Triantos at second base in the second inning. That knuckle curveball again. It's another term I've heard for that too, called a spiked curve. Basically have your index finger up so your knuckle is spiked. So it's supposed to take some pressure off the elbow because you don't have to spin the ball as much when you throw the curveball out of that.
Yeah, different angle of the hand. Don Sutton used to dig in that forefinger, the fingernail on the baseball, push out with it as he is releasing the baseball.
So to first, it gets away, and Freeman will get up and run to second base. So an error on the throw by Brown. And the Dodgers have a man in scoring position for the first time this afternoon. B.J. Murray, the first baseman, didn't have a chance to catch it.
None.
Pitch to Muncy. Way high and outside. So you had plenty of days at Wrigley Field. Played there before they had the lights, too. Strike call to Muncy. Leadoff hitter. So you had some early days.
Yeah.
When you were with the Cubs.
The old story is it didn't play night games. Why? Didn't have lights.
That's a pretty good reason.
Although, could have used them a few times when it gets rather dark during the game.
Swing and a miss by Muncy. Counters full, 3-2.
Oh, here's the spot that Max was pretty much spot on last year. With runners in scoring position, almost 300. A couple of clicks under, 298.
The 3-2 pitch. Lifted in the air to right field. Justin Dean circles back behind it, makes the catch. Freeman will tag from second. He's on his way to third. And once he makes the out, but he moves a man up 90 feet. It's always a good out when you can advance a runner. Teoscar Hernandez, the batter. 2 men out, Freeman at third. Chance to pick up an RBI for Teoscar. First pitch to him. Outside corner, sinker for a strike. This was a pretty good spot for the Dodgers last year. 2 outs and a man in scoring position. They led Major League Baseball in batting average in these situations. 271 overall.
For Teo, how about this for leading Major League Baseball? Come to the plate with runners in scoring position against relief pitchers the last 2 years more times than any other hitter in the majors.
1-1 ground ball slowly hit to Kingery at short. Throws on to first and plenty of time to get Hernandez. Freeman will be stranded at third base. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left. On to the 5th inning, no score at Camelback Ranch. Back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Well, Rick Monday, Tim Neverett with you. Kirsten Watson here as well. No score, 2 hits apiece. Top of the 5th inning. Tons of activity out on the hills in the outfield today. Here's Wyatt Mills. Last season in the Red Sox organization in Worcester, Massachusetts. 32 appearances, went 4-2 there. And the right-hander out of Spokane throws inside. Went to Gonzaga. Facing B.J. Murray, the first baseman. And Mills works the third base side of the rubber. Smith is out of the ball game, and Alfonso catching now for the Dodgers. Teoscar Hernandez also done. Zaire Hope has taken over for him in left field. This ball stroke foul fair down the first base side. And Murray's going to round first and head to second. That was close. Freddie Freeman got a look at it. First base umpire right on it, said it hit fair. Double for Murray. Justin Dean is hit by the pitch. Came inside on Dean.
With his speed, not exactly the guy you want to put on the base at any time. He's the guy that's saying, hey, look, he's going to have to swing the bat in order to get on.
Teammates getting reacquainted down there, Dean and Freeman. Says, hey, remember me? I'm the guy that put my arms up.
Well, it's a special relationship, too, when you're seeing a guy that helped you win a world championship.
Two-seamer in for a strike to Kingery.
Takes a lot of people. And not just those on the field, but they're the ones that are pulling the wagon.
But there's a special bond, and just think about, you know, your own self winning the World Series in 1981. The guys you're still in touch with today. Boy, Kingery hits this one high and deep to left. It is back. It is off the wall. Hope retrieving it. They'll hold the runner at third, and the bases will be loaded for the Cubs. That's a long single for Scott Kingery.
Well, the location of the pitch, not really ideal. Kingery just stayed back with that breaking ball, and has another 4 feet altitude. It's out of there. I talked to my former roomie yesterday afternoon on the drive back from Scottsdale. Steve Yeager, doing well. Cantankerous as ever. Just the way we like it.
Good to hear he's doing well. Matt Shaw takes blown away.
He told me, he says, oh, my schedule is so busy. I'm seeing if I can work you in.
Wow. Must be nice. Pitch to Shaw. It's fouled right off the mask of Alfonso. I know he did make an appearance recently for the Dodgers. I know he was busy doing something like that not too long ago.
So you want to be a catcher, huh? For those on the television side, yeah, just take a pounding.
Well, remember the neck flaps you see? The umpires get one on. But that was because of your roomie.
Yeah, well, he was in the on-deck circle in San Diego. Bill Russell was the batter against the Padres. A broken bat. The business end of the bat helicoptered into the neck of Steve Yeager, just millimeters, as he was told, millimeters away from his jugular vein. And that was the broken part of the bat that hit him. And with Yeager, along with Bill Bueller, who was the head trainer par excellence with the Dodgers, they designed the throat guard that would hang down just below the chin of the catcher's mask.
Good look at Nate Tomlinson, the home plate umpire. He's got that on.
And it just gives you extra protection, in particular a ball that may be, in the dirt. I'm not talking about sponsors, but there's a lot of different renditions that have been done, but that was really a pattern that Bill Bueller that they kept working with this hard plastic material to get the right size, and then how do you attach it to the mask? What's the safe way to do it?
Bases loaded, nobody out. 2-2 to Matt Shaw. That's popped up. Foul ground. This will be an infield fly. So Shaw's automatically out.
Well, if it's fair.
If it's fair. It stayed foul, but he's out anyway.
And the umpires will yell infield fly rule if the ball is fair.
The bases remain full. One man out for Kevin Alcantara. But any old catcher will tell you that on their way up that they've probably taken a foul ball or two or three off the throw too. And so that little neck flap has helped in that area.
Well, that's why I really marvel for a lot of different reasons for catchers. And they take a beating behind home plate, and then still pick up the lumber and hit.
One strike pitch from Wyatt Mills. We'll wait.
The other part that people don't see on the field is the preparation the catchers do in order to help guide their pitcher that is working in that particular game. And then keep in mind all the research too up to date of the bullpens. I mean, they don't see that part. They can come out early and maybe watch batting practice. Okay, he's working, he's taking batting practice, and maybe he's warming up the pitcher before the game, but they don't see the hours that are spent in front of computers and looking at printouts.
1-2 to Alcantara. Good crowd here today at Camelback Ranch on this Saturday. First Saturday home game of spring training for the Dodgers. Last Saturday, the opener over in Tempe against the Angels. Angels will be here tomorrow. Swing and a miss, strike three. Mills comes back, strikes him out, 2 away.
Yeah, went upstairs. Tough pitch to hit. 3-2. Was it a strike? Well, you can't take a chance. Swing and a miss.
So the four-seamer there. What about his release point? He's got, I don't know, would you call that a low 3/4 release? It's not over the top, that's for sure.
Well, he drops down the upper part of his body instead of just the arm and coming from the side. It's like a peekaboo stance, as if he's trying to lean down and out towards the third base bag and throw the baseball around a pole.
1-0 to Dylan Carlson, fouled away. Carlson, a switch hitter, turning around to bat left-handed against the right-hander. One ball, one strike pitch to Carlson. Outside. Should point out again, Tanner Scott, good inning, gave up the 2-out single, but other than that, good. Struck out a man. Edwin Diaz, 1 scoreless inning, walked 2, but struck out 1, helped out by a double play. 2-1 goes to the backstop. That comes back, and Mills did not get to the plate quick enough to cover, and the Cubs get a run. B.J. Murray comes in to score on the ball to the backstop. A wild pitch.
I think for a second Carlson thought he was going to get drilled with that ball. How do you stay out of the way of it? The hardest thing sometimes for a hitter is how do you react on a ball that's not only right at you but slightly behind you?
3-2. Slider in for a strike. 1-0 Cubs, top of the 5th. And the 3-2 on the way. That's outside. He walked it. Chas McCormick coming up. And coming out of the Dodger dugout is the pitching coach, Mark Pryor.
Dodgers pitchers today have walked 3, hit 2, 1 wild pitch, 2 double play balls they've been able to serve up.
Chas McCormick standing in now for Chicago. Getting cleanup today, 0 for 2. Grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first and flied out to right in the fourth. Bases loaded, 2 out. And Mills deals outside with a slider. One 0 pitch. There's a strike. Well, the other Dodger club over in Surprise taking on the Texas Rangers. Top of the fourth inning, still 2-0 Dodgers. Told you Dalton Rushing with a home run in that game. His first of the spring. Split squad Saturday for the Dodgers. Danny Lehman is running the club over in Surprise. He took a number of the coaches with him. So they had to split the staff up too. Two ball, one strike pitch for Mills. That's popped up fouling out of play. 2-2. For the Dodgers, Tibbs, Hura, and Miller, 6, 7, and 8 due up in the home half of the fifth inning. The 27th pitch of the inning for Wyatt Mills. And he struck him out, leaves the bases full. So the wild pitch results in a run. Cubs get one across after 4.5. It's 1-0 Chicago. Opening week with your back-to-back world champion Dodgers, presented by Bank of America, coming March 26th. Check out exciting matchups, giveaways, special events, and much more. Dodgers.com/promotions. 1-0, bottom of the fifth inning. James Tibbs III will lead off. And Brown deals him a strike. 0-1. And Tibbs fouls it back. Still
back-to-back pitches, also at 97. So he's in a fast lane.
You can throw it. Brown stretching the pitch. Tibbs a wave and a miss. He strikes out. Through the curve.
Back-to-back gas, then the bender.
Tibbs is 1 for 2. But you got to be geared up for the fastball because it's the first one by you. But
you can slow things down, but you cannot speed things up.
But a knee buckling curve there from Brown. Keston Hiura popped up to second his first time up. Takes a strike.
Here another one of those hitters that uses that large knob on the end of the bat. Different configuration. Ouch.
Hiura is hit.
We might have wished that knob had been a little bit bigger. There's always concern about the hands if they get hit. Now there is protection that is out there. We see Shohei Ohtani, one of them in particular, that is able to use, and I don't know why all hitters don't use it. You can put some Velcro on the back of your hitting glove. Then you take a hard plastic. We were talking about the same material basically that the chin guard is used, and you can put it on the back of your hand. It does not limit your range of motion. And why more players don't use that, as Shohei does, is beyond me. It's extra protection because the hands are so fragile and obviously so important if you're going to be hitting.
Hiura's going to come out of the game.
And you got the elbow pads, the availability also having the back of your hand padded, maybe even your wrist on top of that. It's there, it's available, why not use it?
Pinch running is Charles Davalon out of Arkansas. Strike is called to Noah Miller. So Davalon on first. He was with Arkansas in the College World Series last year. While at Arkansas, played some infield, a lot of outfield. Was their left fielder. And a strike called to Miller, 0-2. So 88 at the plate, 88 at first base. Only in spring training.
Luckily.
Now, college football, you have double numbers all the time, but you can't be on the field at the same time. Got to be offense, defense, or only one of them allowed on special teams.
So when you have 120 guys suited up.
One and two to Noah Miller. Kicks away a wild pitch, and Davalon down to second base.
Breaking ball in the dirt, trying to block it, but it just hit. With the rotation of the breaking ball, you will get a different direction on the bounce. I'm trying to prejudge it. That just took a very high bounce.
Curveball, struck him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Brown, both on the curveball. Mike Ciani, the batter.
Bobbin will fall out of that breaking ball. It looks good.
Michael Ciani. He was going to go to college to Virginia. Decided to turn pro instead. Base hit taken away there by Carlson. And a good read by the Cubs center fielder. One left for the Dodgers. We go to the 6th. 1-0 Chicago.
Trim.com.
It's the global tournament that turns every inning into a moment you can't miss. Predict the winners of the 2026 World Baseball Classic Bracket Challenge, presented by Verilux Progressive Lenses. Compete and you could win. Visit worldbaseballclassic.com/bracket to enter. Rules and restrictions apply. Rosario on the pitch for the Dodgers now in the 6th inning, facing Christian Bethancourt, the catcher.
Christian Bethancourt, catcher.
Trailing Rosario, Tulsa last year. Ball well struck to center. Heading back on it is Ciani. Camps out under it, makes the catch, and there's one away for the Cubs in the 6th. Rosario signed as an international free agent with the Dodgers in 2018. Curveball, fastball, and pretty good changeup. Now facing James Triantos. Pitch falls in for a strike. That's the slider. Well, we saw Robleski start today. 2 innings, 1 hit, 24 pitches. Dodgers trying to get him built up. Emmett Sheehan, we're told we could see in a game soon. Down in the right field corner. Terrific catch by Tibbs.
Well, cover some ground, and that's not an easy thing to do. You start to go into that corner. He gave a little side glance to see exactly where he was. Fortunately, makes the running catch, able to stop in time. He covered a lot of ground.
B.J. Murray, first baseman, facing Rosario. Again, saying we haven't seen Emmett pitch in a game yet, but Dave Roberts today saying that's coming soon. And Sheehan will be an option for the rotation as well in the early going. And I think when you look at the rotation, Mo, you're talking about Yamamoto, Glasnow, Sasaki. Right now is guys you know are going to be in there. Ohtani is continuing his throwing program over in Japan. So will he be available first time around the rotation or not? We'll see, probably. But and then Blake Snell just not throwing it. He's throwing on flat ground.
Playing long catch.
Yeah.
Who started that term, by the way?
On flat ground?
Yeah, he's starting at flat ground.
I don't know.
That's playing catch.
There's a lot of terms in baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, realizes, yes, they go through the delivery sometimes, and yes, they're on flat ground, but
he's not throwing on bumpy ground or
on
or winding hills.
We don't go there. The bump.
The bump. Swing and a miss by Murray. Count is full. That's one of your least favorite terms, right?
That's one of them. We actually heard the PA announcer yesterday over in Scottsdale with the Giants, and on the bump.
3-2 fouled away. So would that make Bump Wills your least favorite player?
See, there you go. No, but I tell you what, his dad was one of my faves.
Had to keep it in the family. There's ball 4. Plus, he's the only guy I could think of named Bump.
Well, actually, there's another Bump if you're looking at Dodger history. Never put on a uniform. Bump Holman, for a while, was the pilot for the Dodgers planes after his father. Bud Holman won a plane from Eddie Rickenbacker, at the time was president of Eastern Airlines.
Justin Dean hit by a pitch for the second time. Well, that's a great piece of Dodger history. I mean, these are the things you don't learn anywhere else, folks.
Bump Holman was the son of Bud Holman, after whom Holman Stadium was named Dodgertown. And Bump told the story that it was Dad in a card game with Eddie Rickenbacker, who was a war ace for the Dodgers. Then, it was mentioned, came on as the president of Eastern Airlines.
Big curveball for a strike.
Vero Beach was a freight destination for Eastern at the time. Well, it came down to the final hand. Bud Holman bet a lot of money. And Eddie Rickenbacker was light in the pot and said, "What do you want?" And Holman said, "Pick of the fleet." Holman won the hand. The next week he went down to Miami, the head for Eastern Airlines at the time, and picked out the shiniest, the newest DC-3. And that's how the Dodgers received their first airplane. One of many that they had. And Bump Holman wound up being the pilot. The Holman family, by the way, still has an FBO, fixed base operation, at the airport in Vero Beach.
That's only info you're going to get from Rick Monday.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, there's more. There you go.
That was not the team plane, by the way.
Is that you up there?
No.
Oh, your planes were bigger than that.
And that one's on a long base, right base for Glendale Airport, which is directly behind us.
It's popped up foul and out of play. For those who don't know, Rick is also a pilot, has been for a long time.
But Bump Holman had a 2/3 scale P-51 that had a Volkswagen engine in it. Go figure.
Yeah. How fast did it go?
Fast enough to get
off the ground.
Off the ground.
Two outs, 2 on. 3-2 pitch to Scott Kingery. That's outside ball 4, and the bases are full of Bears right now. Without the benefit of a hit. Walk, hit batsman, and now another walk. Well, what is it with athletes and aviation? I'm thinking, Chicago connection. I remember the old Chicago Blackhawk, Al Secord. He ended up being a pilot for a long time, commercial pilot.
The Cubs,
former LA King, Rod Buskus. He just retired from a 30-year stint with one of the airlines going to Hawaii and back.
Reggie Smith became a pilot, teammate. Don Sutton eventually became a pilot. Thurman Munson, we lost him way too soon. Was a pilot. The Cubs had another, Kenny Hubbs, that unfortunately we lost.
1-0 Cubs, 2 out, top of the 6th. Base is full, and the batter's Matt Shaw. And a pitch clock violation on Rosario. If we didn't have 2 outs, I'd ask you about the story where Tommy got mad at you for flying down to a spring training game. Ground ball, foul.
I talked with Yeager yesterday, and that's one of the things that we talked about.
Because you went down to pick him up.
I did not make the trip. They were playing very quickly. They were playing in Fort Lauderdale. Well, Fort Lauderdale Executive Airport was right next to, across the street from the ballpark. So I got my stuff done early at Dodger Town. I flew down, jumped across the fence, went to the ballpark, and Tommy says, "How'd you get here so fast?" And I said, "Tommy, I literally flew down."
He wasn't happy about it.
Nope.
Fly ball center field. He's got it. Cubs leading loaded for the second time in as many innings. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Chicago. Back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Good times. 1-0 Cubs. Bottom of the 6th inning. New pitcher on is Javier Assad. Right-hander for Chicago. Facing the top of the order, Miguel Rojas. Last year, 7 starts, 8 appearances. He has been with the Cubs in the big leagues for parts of the last 4 seasons. Made his most appearances in 2023, 32. But made his most starts in 2024, where every appearance was a start. He had 29 of them. And Freddie graduating to 3 at-bats today. He'll hit next. Did he go? Nope. I just kind of put a capper on that story when you flew down to Fort Lauderdale to pick up Steve Yeager with an airplane, and you said, "Tommy, I literally flew down here."
Yeah.
He probably thought you were driving
Well, he
fast.
said, "How'd you get down here so fast?" And I said, "Well, I said, the way I came down, there was very little traffic." The next morning, we walked into the locker room, and immediately, "No, Boomer, get in my office."
Strike 3, high sinker. And Rojas strikes out for the 3rd time.
So to wrap it up, Tommy says, "You didn't tell me that you flew down." I said, "Tommy, no, I did. I told you that the way I came down, there was very little traffic, and I literally flew down."
Did you get fined, or did you get anything other than just yelled at?
No. I just think the next time he wanted me to include him going back, it would have been there quicker instead of a 2.5-hour drive.
Pitch to Freeman on the ground, right along the first baseline. It is dropped, but Murray's able to get it over to Assad for the out. Freddie is 1 for 3 now. That's probably it for him today.
Yeah, the Dodgers have been so hot as far as base hits and runs in each of the first 6 games of spring. Have now scored just 1 run in their last 11 innings.
Cubs have made some wholesale changes defensively too. Strike called to Zaire Hope.
Yeah, it's that fun time of the game, Tim.
It is. Scorebook appreciates it. And a ground ball foul up the first base side. So a new outfield for the Cubs. Kane Kepler's in left. Brent Bateman is in center. Parker Chavers is in right. Jefferson Rojas, the new shortstop. Pedro Ramirez is at second. And Javier Assad with 2 outs and nobody on. Pitch to Hope. Inside corner, called strike 3. Got him with a 2-seamer. Well, 3 up, 3 down, and 2 punch outs. On to the 7th. Cubs 1, Dodgers nothing.
Yeah!
Welcome back to Camelback Ranch, where I am joined by Freddie Freeman, the one and only. And you know what, Freddie? This spring, you're very specific when it comes to your numbers, when it comes to your routine, but this spring you were adamant that you wanted 47 at-bats. I have taken the time to do some math, which you have now told me I was very wrong with, but tell me, how did we get to 47?
Yeah, so I usually play the home games, but I'd like to be between anywhere from 45 to 50. That's kind of my honey hole of where I start to feel comfortable going into the season. And I sit down with Brandon McDaniel and we go over my schedule, and I was only supposed to do 2 today and 2 tomorrow, but I switched it up and went 3 today and 3 tomorrow because I'm going to take a game away at the end of spring training. So it's just, I got to get my at-bats in, but it's only in white pants usually.
So I imagined you were like sitting down, writing the numbers, maybe working with Charlie to do a math problem. That's how I envisioned it. That's not the case.
I don't think it's the case. It's just, that's fine. Just looking to see how I could get to 45 to 50 with home games. If I had to play a couple road games, I could do it, but I'm playing one, and it's against the White Sox.
When you look at just spring in general, this year, it is the first time in a while that you guys are having a regular 6-week spring training. How different is that for you, and how you have learned just to manage your body to be ready?
Yeah, I mean, obviously some of our older guys have kind of slow played in. I kind of treat it the same way. I know I didn't play the first 3 games, but that's just the first 3 games. I'm kind of in there now. So a lot of guys are still, going to the WBC, a few of them. So a lot of long flights for some guys. But here, you just try and get your work in. Like today, I went 1 for 3. I swung at strikes, but the swing wasn't where I wanted it to be. A lot of ground balls to the right side. So that's what the beauty of spring training is. I can come in tomorrow and start working on that and hopefully have better at-bats tomorrow. So I'll be playing in there tomorrow, so hopefully we can get some better results tomorrow.
When you spoke to the media earlier this spring, you talked about how just being just a tad below 300 last year, that gave you a serious irk. You know, I understand what you want to do offensively. When you look at just this year, and is there anything you changed to get back above 300, or is it truly just getting back to yourself and really just being healthy?
Yeah, I think it's the healthy part. I didn't have an off season last year. My first time I swung a bat was the day before Fan Fest last year, and I don't even know if I should have been playing at the beginning of the year, but I think if anybody that knows me, I'll do anything to get on the field. I slipped in the shower and went on the IL. That's how fragile I was at the beginning of the year, but we made it work. I thought I did. I played pretty well for how I was feeling throughout the course of the first 5 months. I didn't really start feeling good until pretty much after the All-Star break. That's when I stopped having to football tape my ankle. Things just started to feel much, much better, and obviously just more and more months removed from the surgery, I was just feeling better, and it was nice to have a normal off season. So I expect a lot out of myself. It's no different this year. I don't care what the age says. I expect to hit 300, and I will do the same thing and hopefully get better results this year.
Well, nothing is official just yet. From what we've been seeing, it does seem like you could be batting fourth just with how the top of the order is going to look. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Breaking news here. Freddie Freeman will be batting fourth in the lineup. When you consider that, do you think some of the pitches you receive are going to be looking a little bit different, or is there a different thought process knowing that you could have more guys on base ahead of you?
I mean, I don't really change. I really don't. I've always loved to be in the middle lineup, guys in scoring position. I love when there's guys on base, so I can either move them first or third or drive them in. That's what we're trying to do in the middle of the lineup. We got some great guys at the top that are going to be pushing around 380 to 400 on base percentage, so there should be a lot of opportunities. And you just try and put the ball in play, and being in the 4-hole, hopefully there'll be a lot of opportunities to be able to cash them in and get some points on the board for us and win a lot of ball games.
I've been seeing you and Kyle Tucker spending some time together. Yeah. How is that just building that relationship and what he can bring to this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's a perennial all-star. I mean, we've been watching him play a long time, big games, won a championship. Just trying to make him feel comfortable as fast as you can. I know it's a big contract, and all eyes are on him, but you got a great veteran group that we have here that can surround him and make him feel comfortable so he can hit the ground running. Hopefully he's having a good game over there and surprise. Hopefully they're doing better than us over there. But, you just try and welcome the new guys that are, and they've been around. They know how to go about their business. You just want to make them feel comfortable where they can, be free and easy and go out there and get their work in and be ready to go by come season.
Yeah. It's funny to think. I remember when you were the new guy here. That feels like it was a very long time ago.
It was 5 years ago already.
It's crazy to think. 3-time World Series champion. I mean, when you look at all of the success that you guys have had here, whether it's with the Braves, whether it's with this organization, is there anything that you've learned as to what it takes to become a World Series champion or to have a World Series championship team?
Yeah, I mean, a lot has to go right. Health is a huge factor. You just saw it the last 2 years. We won completely different ways. Seeing guys that did things that were superhuman-like last year. Just having guys coming out of the bullpen that had never done it with Tyler Glasnow. The guys that stepped up. Oh, no. So close. But there's just a lot of guys got to be hot at the right time. You can have you saw it in 2022. We won 111 games, and then we just didn't hit very good in that first series. And credit to the Padres, they pitched well. So there's a lot of things that just have to go right. Health's got to be on our side. And the last couple of years, we've just played really good baseball, going into the playoffs. And guys were doing some crazy things last year, and that was the beauty of last year. I think every single guy on our roster, you had guys that weren't even on the radar stepping up in massive games, and the whole playoffs. You got Will Klein throwing 4 innings. You got, Miggy Rowe, just a grinder playing every day, trying to do everything you could to be on the field, get that opportunity comes through in a massive moments. There's just one thing after another last year, which was so special and so fun, and got a lot of guys here that want to get that 3 in a row and do something really special.
All right, well, before I let you go, I do have some fun ones for you. You have always had a Bad Bunny walk-up song, and obviously Bad Bunny did do the halftime show for the Super Bowl. Is there going to be a new Bad Bunny song? Has Charlie picked a new one for you?
No, so we've kind of been on Baila Conmigo. Ever since I hit the Grand Slam, it's kind of staying. So it's kind of, fits when everybody hears that song, they know it's kind of me coming up to the plate. So We're gonna. He swiped his Instagram clean, right? I heard, and so that means it's gotta be coming out with new music. Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun to watch. Charlie loves Bad Bunny, so we'll see what's going on. But I will be sticking with Bailo Conmigo. It kind of sticks with me and everywhere I go.
Okay, and you and Chelsea just announced baby number 4 is on the way. Congratulations. How much are you looking forward to adding to your family?
Yeah, it's great. We've obviously, Chelsea and I love our kids, and we've always wanted a big family, and we just cannot wait. We haven't announced what it is or what the date is, so I'm not going to give any of those details away, but we are looking forward to it. We're excited. Our boys are excited. So it's going to be great. So maybe I'll get some dad power again.
That's a thing.
That's his thing. When Charlie was born, that's when my career really, really took off. So maybe I can get an extra gear here in the last few years with this baby number 4.
I love it. Freddie, thank you as always. I'm going to let you go once this is over. So thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Back to you guys.
All right. So the Freeman family expanding. That is great. There's a ground ball to third base. That's going to be grabbed by Logan Wagner. He steps on the bag, and that does it. Another run comes in for the Cubs. Stand and stretch. It's time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Sit and Sleep.
Hire the right pro today.
Cubs 2, Dodgers nothing. Bottom of the 7th inning with Kirsten Watson and Rick Monday. Tim Everett with you. Glad you're along. Sellout crowd here today, better than 11,000. And Logan Wagner will lead off for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th inning. Well, interesting thoughts from Freddie Freeman. Again, he wants to get back up over that 300 mark. That's kind of where he's been throughout his career. Last 2 years, no. But he wants to remain a 300 hitter.
Well, how do the good players get better? And very thoughtful answers about. He was 1 for 3 today. He said he was not happy with the swing.
And Wagner bangs it up the middle. That's a base hit.
He's already planning working in the swing tomorrow as Wagner gets the leadoff single. But for Freddie, I think also the analysis. He's talked about the team on base percentage and being able to accomplish different things. And pointing out the teamwork in order to get to the postseason. And I thought the fact that, he was battling injuries. We knew he was hurt also, or not up to 100%. But, it's not us for come out and say it until after the All-Star break when he finally kind of admitted it. But he was playing less than 100% by far for months.
Eliezer Alfonso goes the other way, bloops it to left, and this one will be caught. The shortstop, Jefferson Rojas, get out there to make the play. Yeah, such a big difference, you know, when you're not dealing with the nagging injuries and even the bigger injuries. And it's evident now that he's in a good spot physically. Logan Wagner at first base from Lexington, South Carolina. 6th round pick in 2022. Here's the top prospect, Josue DePaula. First, and Wagner gets back. DePaula was the pregame show guest on the radio part of our simulcast today with David Vassegh. This could be a big year for that young man, as he got promoted to Double-A at the end of the season last year. You got to figure that's where he'll probably be this year. We don't know where he'll be assigned at this time, but just the natural progression of things, you'd have to think.
Well, that's the big swing that we just saw right there. Now we'll see as he goes a more controlled swing and work left center to right center. The infield's playing a little bit to pull the outfield opposite way. And you can put quite a few 18-wheelers end to end between the center fielder and the right fielder.
DePaula takes high for a ball. 1-1. He's having a good spring with the bat, isn't he? Multiple hits already. In fact, he had gone 5 for 5 at one point. He'd been on base in 6 straight plate appearances up until recently. 1-1 pitch to DePaula. Off-speed pitch in for a strike from Assad. One ball and 2 strikes. And strike 3 right down the middle. DePaula strikes out. And Charles Davilan will make his first plate appearance. He came in to pinch run for Keston Hiura after Hiura was hit on the hand with a pitch in the 5th inning. Now, Davilan at Arkansas had been a really good outfielder. I mean, he had been a guy that had been robbing home runs, making diving catches all over the place. Huge contributions offensively. And unfortunately for him, he gets remembered for one play in the College World Series last year. A line drive. He lost his footing, fell forward. The ball hit him in the shoulder. LSU went on to come back and win the game and go on to the College World Series final, and Arkansas was eliminated. And remember the emotional scene on television with Davilan last year and how hard that had to be to go through. But his teammates and coaches had his back because that was one play. And he drives one right to second base. And right there to make the catch is Pedro Ramirez. Well, the Dodgers done. No runs, a hit, man left. We go to the 8th inning. 2-0 Chicago.
on Sportsnet LA.
Back-to-back world champion Dodgers baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. The hot mess is back as a munchie meal for Jack's 75th anniversary. Patrick Copen on to pitch. And this ball hit fair down the left field line, rumbling around first and into second. Is Kane Kepler. Kepley, rather. Kane Kepley with a base hit to lead off the Cubs' 8th.
Owen Miller, third base.
Numbers on Copen. Between Great Lakes and Tulsa last year. And Copen fires one outside. Facing Owen Miller, the older brother of Dodger shortstop Noah Miller, who started and who's out of the game right now. And Owen goes to right field for a base hit. Kepley will be held at third. DePaula launches one all the way home. Owen Miller will be a utility guy for the Cubs. Trying to make the ball club as a utility man. First and third, and nobody out, and Parker Charvers is up. Runner goes down to second, throw goes through and almost into center field, but it's knocked down by Hainline, the shortstop. Comes with second and third now after a stolen base.
And their third of the afternoon.
A bunch of guys from minor league camp in the ball game now. Reminds me that Craig Counsell, the manager for the Cubs, has a son, Brady, who is in the minor leagues in the Diamondback system. And Counsell was asked about that the other day, and he said, well, he's my roommate here in spring training. So Brady living with his dad, and wherever they happen to be, his dad will head down south to Mesa, or the other side to Mesa, while Brady heads to Scottsdale every day. And he says they come home at night and they talk about different things at the minor league camp with the Diamondbacks. This one's popped up by Charvers and caught for the out. Luzier Alfonso making the catch. But one thing that Counsell said was, after listening to his son, now that he's in the minor league system and what goes on with the Diamondbacks, he said he's now paying a lot more attention to what goes on in the Cubs minor league system. He's spending more time on the backfields over in the minor league complex as a result of the conversations he's had with his son.
I think that's a great idea. And here's one of the reasons. You're sending a message to all of your young players that we know you're there. Instead of, well, we're on the backfields, nobody knows about us. They don't come. No, when the manager of the big league ball club comes over and makes his presence, it's like, hey, yeah, we do matter. They understand, hey, we're here.
2-0 pitch to Carter Trice. Fouled away down the right side. Of course, Counsell had some great moments as a player, not only with the Marlins, winning a World Series with the then Florida Marlins and the Diamondbacks.
And now his third here with the Cubs.
Had been with the Brewers, was managing the Brewers. But he's the boss with the Cubs.
Yep.
Got him to the playoffs last year after a drought. 2-2. Missed outside.
You tell the guys that come over to the minor league camp because they're wearing the double ear flap on the helmets.
Patrick Copen steps off. Copen pitched for the Thundering Herd of Marshall in Huntington, West Virginia. Drafted by the Dodgers in 23, 7th round pick. Payoff, popped up foul and out of play. Top of the 8th, a 2-0 Cub lead. Dodgers just have not been able to find a way to score, and the Cubs runners at second and third, and now first, second, and third as Trice takes up high for a walk. Third time the Cubs have had the bases loaded. Brett Bateman up. Second time he's come to the plate. He walked and scored in the 7th inning. Outside corner for a strike. Good cutter from Copen. Last year, 10 games in Great Lakes for Copen, 17 with Tulsa in Double-A. Ball slap foul and slicing out of play down the left side. Elmo, the Cubs have had 18 base runners today, and they've only scored 2 runs.
Well, they've had 4 walks. They've had 3 batters clunked by pitches. There's been a wild pitch by a Dodger reliever. And 2 ground ball double plays.
Oh, 2 to Bateman. Missed inside with a curve.
Well, good time for the 3rd double play of the game.
That one is slicing on a play foul. Just an update on the split squad over in Surprise. Let's see what's happened over there. I'll tell you in a moment. One ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Brett Bateman. That's fouled away. It'll give me a second to put my password back in because as I was looking at the score at Surprise, my iPad decided to stop working.
Well, yeah. Electronics are really good, especially when they work.
Yeah. Another foul ball. Thank you very much. 5-4 Rangers are in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dodgers split squad over in Surprise today at Surprise Stadium. Dalton Rushing with a home run for the Dodgers today. There is a 1-2 from Copen. That's up high and it's 2-2. I'm talking about minor leaguers, but how about this? Michael Conforto signed a minor league deal with the Cubs. He is not on this trip, but he is a guy who could compete for a roster spot. Another pitch fouled away, the 8th pitch of the at-bat. This will be number 9.
By the way, the game in Surprise, you're talking about the competition at second base. Espinal, 2 for 2 today.
Continues to have a good spring.
He's what, 6 for 11?
Yeah. 2-2, line shot into left past Hainline. That's a base hit. Cubs will get 2 out of this. Hook throws to the cutoff man, and it's now 4-0 Chicago. On a base hit by Bateman. What an at bat by Bateman.
They'll follow behind and counts and then leave a ball out over the plate.
Kepley and Miller come in to score. And Trice is at second base. So 2 on, 1 out. Jefferson Rojas will be the batter. Meeting on the mound right now for the Dodgers. Found out something kind of cool about the new ballpark in Ontario, where the Tower Buzzers are going to play. I saw my first Tower Buzzers t-shirt today, by the way, on the backfields. That's going to be the single-A club of the Dodgers now. But around Dodger Stadium, we see some great murals, right? And the artist, Jonah Nevers, was asked to do a mural of Fernando Valenzuela at the new ballpark in Ontario. So that's going to be a big featured piece of art there. Jonas Nevers. So that's going to be a nice thing. Rojas hits it to deep center field. Kendall George under it. He'll make the catch. Both runners will tag. Throw comes into second, but it's a little too late. So 2 men out. Trice to third, Bateman to second. And Casey Opitz, switch hitter, batting from the left side. Catcher by trade. Copen deals him a strike. It's 0-1. Pitch fouled away. 0-2. For the Dodgers in the bottom of the 8th, it'll be 8-9-1 in the batting order. Due up. Copen stretching the 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 at the knees. Got him with a curve. The Cubs pick up 2 more runs on 3 hits. They leave 2. And at the end of 7.5, it's the Cubs 4, Dodgers 0. Opening week with your back-to-back world champion Dodgers, presented by Bank of America, coming March 26th. Check out the matchups, giveaways, special events, and more. Dodgers.com/promotions. Elijah Hainline, first ball swinging, grounds out. And there's one away quickly in the Dodger 8th. Well, we've seen a week of spring training games now. This is the 8th one. Not everybody's been in a game yet. Still waiting to see Mookie Betts. That could happen as soon as tomorrow, maybe. Not sure on that. Kendall George comes up to hit, but what are your general thoughts on what you've seen so far, not only from the guys you're expected to see in the Dodger roster, but some of the young players that are making their way up?
To this particular point, I think the youngsters have had an opportunity. They're going to get even more opportunity because at WBC, well, most of the players have reported they're going to be participating in the World Baseball Classic. That's going to open the door for more playing time of the young players. And it gives them a chance to kind of get into more of a routine instead of just, okay, grab a bat and go hit. Or grit a glove and you go in the last inning.
Assange pitch to George, grounded to short. Rojas boots it. Would have been a close play anyway, but Rojas did not make the play.
Which leads me to a comment that I make on some guys that can run well. How much do they force infielders to rush? Now that's an error. But for an infielder, if you know the guy can absolutely fly, you're telling us that, hey, look, I cannot stay back at the ball. I'm going to have to charge it in a hurry.
Griffin Lockwood Powell, the first baseman, right-handed batter, takes a strike.
And if you are known to run everything out hard, at some point in time, it's going to become beneficial for you and your ball club because someone is going to therefore rush a play. They only happen once in a year. Maybe it happens twice. What if that's the difference in winning a game? What's the difference in winning the pennant?
There goes George for second base. Pitch is outside for a ball. Throw down. And he is safe. Kendall George stole 100 bases even in the minor leagues last year. And he's looking to do the same this year. But he can really fly.
We have seen some better jumps that he's had in the past.
It looked like a late jump.
Yep. But he's fun to watch run.
I talked to him last week. I said, hey, 100 bags is no joke, Kendall. He smiled, and I said, look, you know, we'd like to see you run if you get an opportunity. He said, I can't wait to show you how I can run.
Well, the key to stealing bases is getting on base to begin with.
Right.
And we've seen a whole lot of guys that can run pretty well, but you can't steal first.
You know, like Josue DePaula and Zaire Hope, Kendall George will be an interesting guy to track in the minors this year. 2-2 in the dirt.
Nice stop.
Griffin Lockwood Powell. Full count, one out. George at second. Aside the stretch in the pitch. There's a ground ball toward the middle. Rojas cuts it off, and the shortstop a leaping throw to first. He gets Lockwood Powell. Advancing to third on the play is Kendall George. And Yanier Fernandez now, the second baseman. Fernandez out of Venezuela, 23 years old. Tulsa each of the last two seasons. Last year he hit .245, and the year before he hit exactly .245. So he's been consistent. Takes low.
Dodgers in winning those first 6 games this spring were very efficient, obviously getting runners on base. A lot of runs were scored, but they also were efficient in getting runs in, runners in scoring position. Well, they're 0 for 5 in this one to this point.
Fernandez fouls it back. Well, Fernandez Played in the Little League World Series representing Venezuela in 2015. Now we see how excited the adults are to play internationally. Imagine being 11, 12 years old. What that's got to feel like.
It's like relating to young players at the big league level that happen to maybe join a pennant-winning club or World Series club. Say, hey guys, don't take this for granted because this does not happen that often. Think of all the great players that have played this wonderful game of baseball that never got to a World Series, never reached.
Well, some never do. Some might get there and not win. And I know for you and your teammates in your era, you got to 2 and didn't win against the Yankees. It took you till 81 before you finally won one. And, you know, certainly that's a great bond you guys still have today.
I think more so because it was against the Yankees, to whom we lost the World Series. I think too much really emphasis is on a team that loses. Well, there's a team that won, and then there's a team that did not win. But we lost 77-78 to 81. Yankees, hello.
Well, Fernandez strikes out. Assad, pretty good outing for the Cubs. We go to the 9th inning. It's Chicago 4 and the Dodgers nothing.
Oh, hey, Jack.
Tomorrow, Southern California battle over here. Camelback Ranch. The Angels are in. Noon start on Sportsnet LA. And AM 570 tomorrow. Monday, the Rockies. Tuesday, the Guardians. And then Wednesday, it's a World Baseball Classic exhibition against Team Mexico. Pedro Ramirez grounds to second. And Fernandez throws him out. One pitch, one down for the Cubs in the 9th. Nick Robertson to pitch. Robertson, a veteran. Second spring appearance. Been in the big leagues with the Red Sox and the Dodgers. Pitched 9 games for the Dodgers, 10 1/3 innings in 2023. He was in the Pacific Coast League last year and the International League last year with Omaha and in Sugar Land in the PCL. He was initially drafted by the Dodgers in 2019 out of James Madison. And kind of a full circle deal. He went to the Boston organization, the Angels organization for a bit, Cardinals, Royals. And now back here with the Dodgers. Facing Drew Bowser. And Bowser hits it on the nose to center field. It's going to go over the head of Kendall George. George will field it off the wall, and in with a double is Bowser.
Dodgers had only 3 hits. A little breaking ball that's cutter that's just out over the plate. That's just bad location.
Runner at second, 1 out for the Cubs. Kane Kepley. He doubled his first time.
We're in that section of the game with double ear flaps on helmets.
And doubles being hit as Kepley drives one to the gap. He's going to have himself at least another double. Coming in to score is Bowser. Kepley going for 3, and he'll have a triple. Well, Kane Kepley with a big day for Chicago.
And double digits in the hits for the Cubs. Dodgers have manufactured just 3 hits. So the location, we talked about pitching, is a lot like real estate. Location, location, location. You can run pretty well. That helmet is barely staying on.
Owen Miller had a hit last time up, an opposite field single. Oh, 1 pitch. This one popped up. Foul ground, drifting back after it is Lockwood Powell, and he makes the catch. Runner's going to tag, throw to the plate, up the line. The Cubs get another. 6-0.
Smart running and tagging up to begin with. So sacrifice fly. The ball caught by the first baseman, but
to 3. Sack
yeah,
to the first baseman. Don't see that a lot. Parker Charvers will hit.
It's been that kind of a day.
Robertson throws, and it's high for a ball. Back at it tomorrow, same time, right where you're catching us here. Landon Knack will pitch for the Dodgers tomorrow, opposite Angels lefty Reed Detmers. It'll be the second and final meeting between the Dodgers and Angels in Cactus League play before they play 3 in a row right before the start of the regular season in the Freeway Series. 1 in Anaheim, 2 at Dodger Stadium. Charvers lifts this one in the air to center. Drifting over to left center is George. He'll make the catch. And the side retired. 2 runs, 2 hits. No errors, nobody left. Last chance for the Dodgers, down 6-0. Bottom of the ninth inning. Dodgers without a run today, trying to get one on the board. Zaire Hope will lead off for the Dodgers against the new pitcher. Right-hander Jeff Brigham is on the hill for the Cubs. They have been with the Marlins and the Mets and the Diamondbacks last year. Starting in 18, making his major league debut with Miami. Mets in 2023. Hope is 0 for 1. Went down looking at a sinker in the 6th inning. First pitch to Zaire Hope, missing. 1 ball, no strikes. Brigham kicks, fires, and it's fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brigham, a non-roster invite to Cubs camp, trying to make this Cubs bullpen. That was a cutter down low. 2-1.
The pitcher is challenging the ball call.
First challenge all day. Let's see if he's right or not. He's right.
The call's overturned. The count's 0-2.
We hadn't had a challenge all day, Mo.
Yep.
Brigham said,
it's the first challenge we've seen coming from a pitcher.
Yeah. Because a lot of teams are telling their pitchers don't do it. I saw a clip of Chris Sale of the Braves. Did you see this one? He was asked about the ABS. He said he'll never challenge. He said, and they said, why not? He said, I'm not an umpire. He said, I'm a pitcher. He's also the same pitcher.
With some pitchers, that goes hand in hand.
Well, he's also the same pitcher that doesn't shake off his catcher. He never does that. But, yeah, he said he won't do it. But some teams are telling their pitchers not to do it. Apparently not the Cubs. Two from Brigham. And Hope watches it low, full count. Last year we had the ABS in spring training, and then it was gone for the regular season. I think for us, having done 20 or so or 25 games with the ABS, there was a little adjustment period to get used to.
And there was a lot of talk also because early in the season, right after using it, as you're saying, in spring training, there would be a close call, and without question the comment would be, well, if they had the ABS, that would be overturned. And so now we'll see. Every game.
Third baseman Logan Wagner, strike 1. I guess there are going to be times where we may not see the ABS very frequently, and there'll probably be other games where we do. Wagner goes the opposite way, in the air to left. Kepley's there making the catch for the Cubs.
And the strategy, if you use it early, you don't have it late when the game could be, in fact, on the line. I think early is going to be a different situation. Say bases are loaded, and you're the hitter, or you're the pitcher, or the catcher.
Eliezer Alfonso, Dodger catcher, takes outside, ball 1. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the ninth. 6-0 Cubs. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a miss at a cutter. One ball, 1 strike. Josue DePaula's on deck. He's got a fan over there. There's a ground ball into right field, a base hit. Hope will stop at second base. So Alfonso with a single. 2 on and 1 out.
Nowhere for Hope to go. You're down by 6, and you only have 2 outs to work with. You cannot afford to take a chance and try and advance.
DePaula last year at Great Lakes hit .261. 12 home runs, 43 runs batted in that advanced A. He then was promoted to Tulsa in Double-A, where he played in 4 games. And he'll take a pitch up high, and it's 2-0 to Josue DePaula.
Talked earlier about the protection you can get on the back of your batting glove, and DePaula uses that. That's just, to me, it's a smart thing for hitters to do.
Brigham's pitch. Strike call. Yeah, those hand pads, they're pretty light anyway.
They're very light.
I don't think the guys really notice any difference with them on, but they can help protect all those small bones in your hand. This one's fouled back off to our left in the booth next door.
Someone in the public address announcer booth picked up the ball and showed it to the crowd. What they did not see was it bounced about 18 times on the floor.
Yeah, he didn't catch it. 2-2. When you catch it, that's when you hold it up to show everybody. But as we both know, doing this a little while, you want to get out of the way of those when they come up. No reason to bruise your hand. Although I did catch one, I think it was a Corey Seager foul ball over downtown here against the Diamondbacks a couple years ago. And as soon as I caught it, I asked myself why I caught it. DePaula hits one hard down the right side, and it hooks into the netting. Three and 2 to DePaula. Payoff pitch fouled away. He's worked himself at least an 8-pitch at bat here. Pitch number 8 from Brigham. It's high ball 4, and the bases are full of Dodgers.
Yeah, don't go away.
Bases full and 1 out. And a mound visit being used by the Cubs. Talk it over here. The Dodgers trying to get on the board. Davila will come up. Now, last time he came up, he lined out to second, but the exit velocity off his bat was over 107 miles an hour. Arkansas Razorback. We'll see what Davila can do here. Great opportunity to get some runs in. Left-handed hitter looks out, and Brigham out of the stretch delivers. Strike call to the cutter. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2. See if the shock troops can bring in a run here. 0-2 pitch from Brigham. That one is lined into center field. It's going to be caught. Bateman came in to make the play. It was hit so hard and not very deep that nobody could advance. Zaire Hope at third had no choice but to stay there. And that one was over 105 miles an hour off the bat. So we can see that he can square up the baseball.
Two very good swings with nothing to show for it as far as credited with a hit.
Well, the Dodgers down to their last out this afternoon, and it is shortstop Elijah Hainline at the plate. Bases loaded. Brigham's pitch, sweeper for a strike call. We've seen Hainline play second base so far this spring, but getting his first chance at short today. Another Pacific Northwest guy. Another sweeper taken for a strike, and the Dodgers down to their final strike today. Here comes an 0-2 pitch from Brigham. Came back with the sweeper. This time it's hit in the air foul down the first baseline and up in the seats. Hainline wasn't going to let a third sweeper go by him. Next offer fouled back again. Still 0-2 on Elijah Hainline.
So 3 breaking balls in a row, then a fastball away. Does he come back with a hook here again?
Brigham set at the belt. His 0-2 pitch. Tried the sweeper again. Another breaking ball, but it was too far inside. Hainline trying to extend the ball game here. 1-2 pitch from Brigham. Inside for a ball. And Brigham seems to be married to that sweeper. Every pitch has been a sweeper but one. And this next pitch will be the 30th of the inning. 2-2 to Hainline. Up high, ball 3. And the merry-go-round will start. Bases loaded, 2 down. Runners on the move. 8th pitch of the at-bat. Coming to Hainline from Brigham. There it is. Up high, ball 4. The Dodgers get on the board. Zaire Hope will come in to score on the bases loaded walk. And Brigham's going to be taken out of the ball game by Craig Counsell.
Oh, he went back-to-back on the breaking balls very quickly. Was 0-2 to Hainline. And then the fastball missed. Then he came back to the breaking ball. That missed.
6-1 is the score. And a pitching change for Chicago. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th.
Can go to college.com.
Right-hander Dawson Nets with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th will be the new Cubs pitcher. Kendall George, the center fielder, the batter. The bases are loaded in a 6-1 game in favor of the Cubs. I'm glad you tuned into the radio TV simulcast today. Back at it again tomorrow. pretty much every day here in Arizona. First pitch missing inside. And George takes ball 1. And the next offer. And George swings it, gets by the catcher. And in to score is Alonso. 6-2.
A wild swing by George and what would have been ball 2. And that slider down low. Well, that catcher didn't put a glove on it. It was the right shoe of the umpire.
Second and third and 2 out. 1-1 count. And George couldn't hold up the swing, and the Dodgers down to their final strike today. Any challenge?
No, it's called on the swing.
Oh, okay. I saw him put his hand on his helmet like he just did again. He was just adjusting his helmet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Nets. Swung on ground ball to the right side. This should do it. And a quick throw to first base by Ramirez. And the ball game comes to a conclusion with the Cubs coming out on top today. The Dodgers have lost back-to-back games. Final score is 6-2 Chicago. Make sure to join us again tomorrow on Sportsnet LA and AM 570 when the Dodgers face the Angels at noon. Radio pregame on the simulcast begins at 11:30 with David Bassett. For Rick Monday, Kirsten Watson, I'm Tim Neverett. For our entire crew, thanks for watching. Talk to you tomorrow from Camelback Ranch.